Good everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So in the last episode, I talked about the code terms, right? And how code terms can be useful for sending the proposals. Now, I also mentioned one thing, right? In the future episode, I will be talking about how to render code terms conditionally, right? Um, so so I've demonstrated, right? Uh, say for instance, if I wanted to display just one code term, so I have to pretty much untick all the options. That's what I did in the last episode. But this time, what I'll do, I will activate this one, right? And then I will add condition so that only one of these out of two, only one of them get displayed. So under current scenario, if you're gonna look at how the codes will be displayed, so you will see that you will be able to see both the code terms getting rendered to the PDF document. Let me show you. So if I go to code and I go to this particular one, and I will say generate document, and I'll choose the template, and I will do preview. I mean, this options could be pretty useful, right? I mean, if you wanted to include certain code terms for certain customers and exclude certain code terms, right? You can do that. All right. So if I look at this one, right, you can see I got both the code terms included. Now, what if I only wanted to see this, right? And at the same time, I do not want to deactivate the other ones. Okay. So is there a way to do that? Absolutely. So let's check it out how we can do it. So I'll go back to the code terms, right? So for now, I'm just going to dealing with two code terms. So I'm going to show you a trailer example, right? It's a pretty basic example, but it will clear your concept to know how to conditionally render a code terms. Okay, so in an account, right? If I go to an account, I have the school account, right? And under account, there is something called SLA, right? So it's a pick list, right? We got gold, silver, bronze, etc. Right? So what I'll do, I will filter uh, the code terms based on the SLA, right? So obviously, when you create a code, you link that code to a certain account, right? So for instance, I'm linking a code to the school account, so obviously the SLA will come from the account field, right? Now, so what I wanted to do, I wanted to include only those code terms where I will set a term conditions to say, hey, the SLS should be a bronze, right? So if it's not clear, I'll just show you what I meant by that. So I go to code terms, right? Let's pick this one. And what I'll say, I go to related. I want to include, um, say, account SLA, which is a formula field on a code object, which actually gets the value from account SLA field, should contains, I'll just say, just to make it simple, contains bronze, right? And I'm saying that, okay, include this code terms if the SLA field contains bronze, right? Or you can do equal, just to keep it simple, I'm just using contains. And then I'll go back to the other one, and what I'll do, I will go to the related list. I go new. I'll pick the same field because that's exactly what I wanted to compare with. So I will do contain silver. Okay. So I got two active coterms, right? Now all I've done, I've added terms conditions to both the coterms, right? So let's go back to the code, right? And I'm using this code, okay? And I got the school account, and as you know, that school account has an SLA of bronze, which I've already showed you before. Okay, now I will go to generate document option, and okay, and I'll pick this template, okay, and I'll do preview. Yeah, let's see what happens. Right, it might take a few seconds, but okay. So as you can see, we got only one code term displayed because it's rendering based on conditions, right? So this is exactly what I wanted to showcase today. I mean, I do understand that, right? If you have a lot of code terms, it can get challenging. So you can also play with something called, just a second, if you have uh, more than one terms condition, you can also do something called all condition met. You can, fiddle with this as well. So for now, I think this is good enough for you to know from an exam point of view. I would highly encourage you to guys to practice it, build a scenario, because I do understand that trailer is pretty basic, right? I mean, let's accept the fact trailer is pretty basic. It gets you started, but as you develop more scenarios, you will get to know inside out of any product, right? That's how it works, right? Trailhead is a pretty great platform. Don't get me wrong. I love Trailhead because Trailhead is my go-to place for learning anything related to Salesforce. In saying so, the scenario things are pretty basic, right? Yes, I do appreciate the fact they got Super Badge. Super Badge is pretty amazing. So I highly recommend people to do Super Badge, right, before they go and appear for any certification. If you are someone who is new to Salesforce and trying, to get your things around. Because if you're someone who's got lots of experience, then um, I'm not sure what value Super Badge will bring. Because, like for instance, I have lots of programming experience in Salesforce. For me, programming Super Badge adds no value whatsoever because I've build the complex scenarios than that. But in saying so, right, I'm not discouraging you guys to use Superbadge. I'm saying if you have tons of experience, if you know what you're doing, then I don't see Superbadge going to add a value. But if you're someone who's new to Salesforce, want to learn certain aspect of the Salesforce, then I will highly recommend Superbadge. So that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing Thursday. Adios.